up everybody? Welcome back to the shop for round 2 of our budget Audi air suspension setup. So what I've done so far is I've tested everything. After repairing that in the last video, I made sure everything works and nothing leaks. So I've disconnected this valve. All we have left is just the positive and negative to the pump, which I'll run a relay and switch setup for that, just so I can control it on and off as I please. What I've done for this example here is I used that OEM Audi hose and that adapter I talked about, the T-fitting, to convert it to a 1/4-inch line. And what I've done so far here was use DOT fittings to basically just get a pressure gauge split off of it so we can see what kind of pressure is in the tank. And then this is like a simplified diagram of what's going to be actually going on in the car. This will tee off into 2 paddle valves, which will control these 2 brass fittings here. Will be one goes to the front, one goes to the rear. There'll be a T-fitting in the front and rear of the car, and that'll basically be it. It's as simple as that. So for now, I'm just gonna run it just to show you that everything works. Testing both paddle valves, they both work. This is probably the most expensive part of the entire project here. So now it's time to just put it in the car, see where it'll fit. Here's my cheesy plastic switch panel. I'll be adding the paddle valves to this. I'm not sure where exactly I want to put them. Thinking right in the center will be fine. Probably hide the gauge somewhere around here. Try to get these holes drilled. Then I could cut them with the saw. Get the Dremel out. I'm gonna set it up so front is gonna be my left, rear is gonna be my right. I'm just gonna have to memorize that. I'm just gonna hook it around this, and it's just gonna hang here. I'll find a permanent place to hang it later, but I wanna get this thing rolling, so I'm gonna keep going. All right, so I end up wiring in, tapping into another fuse for my switch. I have the switch underneath here now, and that will get me power. See this yellow wire down here? That's just drooping for now. I'll secure that later once I get the right length. But it just dumps out right here. So if I flip the switch, I'll have 12-volt positive to this wire fused. For the compressor and tank assembly, I have shortened the hose here, teeing them off to everything. I have this aluminum plate here I want to mount this whole thing to. I put everything on. I wound up cutting off the original plug for that because I wanted to get rid of that splice that was in there. But I have all the grounds going to this right here. I'm just going to secure those to the aluminum plate. That'll be the ground for the relay and for the pump itself. And then I have this fused wire. I'm gonna hook it straight to the battery. And then I have one more empty slot here, and that's gonna be for that yellow wire. So when I hit the switch, it'll turn this relay on and fire the compressor up. So I got these longer bolts here. I'm gonna put them in through the bottom, drill holes in this, 3 just to mount this on. And then I'll drill another hole for the opposite side of the tank. I'll share a bolt hole with this one and one of these, but it'll be 4 of these rods or 4 of these bolts coming in through the bottom. I'll put a nut on right here to secure it to the aluminum plate. And then I'll have a double nut up here with washers to elevate this and secure it to the plate. And then from there, I'm gonna drill 3 holes in this, and that will go in the 3 holes that originally were to bolt the spare tire to in the front of the car. I'll show you that when I get it all done. All right, so here's the current revision I have. It's all the studs everywhere they need to be. These 3 holes are to get on the original locations for the spare tire holder. And I'm not using one of those because obviously my new wheels wouldn't fit in here. So I'm gonna reuse that location. mount this on. I put red Loctite on all the studs, quote unquote studs, so that they'll never come loose on me. So I'm gonna put them on right now. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put on the compressor. Three of those fender washers. I'm gonna set the tank. All right, and here is my final assembly for the mount for these things. So I kept the original rubber bushings for these, so this should be very quiet in operation. So I'll tighten all this down more once I get the actual plumbing done. The wires, as far as this goes, I just have this ground here that's gonna attach to this aluminum plate. Take this yellow wire from the switch inside the car and go to that last contact on the relay. And every time I flip the switch, the compressor will kick on and add pressure to the tank. Well, right now it won't because it's gonna shoot out of this. So I can say I'm quite satisfied with that. And it's free. I had all the hardware and plates and everything, so this didn't cost me any money at all. I already had this stuff laying around. So it's getting late, that's all the time I have for today. I'm gonna work on this later on. There will be a part 3 of this, and that will be where I finish everything up for this part of the project. Next video should see some working air suspension. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. And if you want to see these projects through to the end, consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you for watching. Peace out.